you're new to K-pop, this genre of music has something called a light stick, and if you're not new, you probably knew that. Depending on which group you enjoy, you'll likely find yourself with one of them in your hand. Each group has a different stick, so today we'll be going over some of the ones that I thought were the coolest looking overall. So let's move this right along. Loona's light stick is top tier, honestly. It's easy to hold, it makes you feel like you're royalty because of the cute little crown on top of it, and I think people who were in royalty had this thing. I can't remember what it's called, but I know they held something. It also kind of reminds me of the little dudes that you see who march in parades. I have not a clue what they're called, but this specifically. Overall, it's very pleasing to look at, and I wish I owned this light stick. I mean, it's just disappointing that I don't. Look how pretty this is. Who would be disappointed with this? With Twice, I like the original more. Their light stick is called a candy bong, I believe. So this is the original and this is the newest one. Especially with the colors, the newest one is a lot more vibrant. It's a lot more LED-esque versus the old one, which just has like a piece of paper in it that's like in the shape of candy swirls. But I just get like a nostalgic vibe from looking at the older one because it does have, you know, I think it's just a piece of paper in there. Even though the light inside of the original one isn't great, it still just has that very like candy lollipop vibe, and I just like it better. The newer one isn't bad either. I like it too because it's still in its like familiar shape, and it just is missing the swirl, but I really like the lights on it. Like the LEDs on that make it look very good, like very tasty. iKON's light stick is a fucking weapon. I don't know why they said a bat was the best option, but I'm not complaining either because that is literally a weapon that you could use at any point in time. It's unique and it's kind of silly, so I think it matches the group pretty well. Overall, the light stick is once again super easy to hold, clearly, but I'd be worried, you know, if I did accidentally hit someone, like how hard is it? Regardless, the light on it is pretty basic. It just, I think, lights up from what I've seen. It's just like it just makes it red. But I think its overall design is, it makes up for it. Like, I feel like the light can be pretty simple for what the design actually, I mean, it's a fucking bat. I don't know much about this group, but I do know their light stick is cute as fuck. It's like a little panda bear, I think. It's super cute. I mean, honestly, I'm clearly missing out by not listening to them because this is the cutest thing I think I've ever seen. It also looks to be super soft, maybe like it's squishy or something. I could be wrong, but it just looks like it has a cushion on it. The stick specifically is so eye-catching to me personally, since I haven't seen a lot of animal lights. Like there's BAP, and I think 𝘤𝘢𝘳𝘵𝘢𝘳 is a rabbit, if I remember properly. But those are the only ones to my knowledge that have animal light sticks. So I think APink's light is extremely pretty for what it is. Y'all, Day 6 knows what it's doing. They don't have a normal light stick. No, they have a fucking watch. This looks insanely massive. These pictures right here, insane how big that looks on somebody's wrist. But it's so cool. Like, I don't know any other group that has a watch as a light stick. The only thing that I'd really be worried about is the wear and tear. But honestly, I think it's a pretty cool design because, I mean, it's a watch and it still lights up. So, you know, you're not necessarily having to worry about it hitting somebody unless you're like actively punching in the air, and then that might be a little different. But I don't know why, but this light stick has been in my cart for far too long. I love it. I really do. It looks like a little megaphone. The only thing that really confuses me on this is the handle, because I don't know if it's exactly supposed to be a megaphone. That's just what it looks like to me. Somebody said it looks like one of those old musical boxes, this thing. Regardless, I don't know if you're supposed to hold that part of it or the actual stick. I've seen both people hold it. Like, I've seen both being held, so that's a little confusing. But overall, if you look past that, it's a 10 out of 10. I really like when you turn it on because that blue color is really pretty. So, I mean, it's top tier shit. Now, honestly, if we look past what this looks like and we stare at the colors, it's fine. But all jokes aside, I think this is a very colorful and very pretty light stick. It's very simple, and I mean, it's quite literally a stick. It also kind of looks like one of those Dyson hair dryers that they got with the like nothings in the middle of it kind of thing. I mean, but it looks cool. The lights look cool, and I am a very big enjoyer of pretty lights, so this is definitely caught my attention. Even though it's very simple and very much just a stick, it's still very much eye-catching. Like, it looks like it has very good LEDs on it, and it apparently has a vibrating feature in recent times. So, I mean, that's interesting. So, overall, I'd give it, you know, a 9 out of 10. It's definitely on the nose for being a questionable appearance, but I think it's still nice. When I originally got into K-pop, Blackpink's light stick was actually one of the first ones that I found, and honestly it's been a favorite ever since. It's in the shape of a hammer, but the hearts are like super soft, and it makes a fucking squeaking noise when you hit somebody with it. I might be a dog at this point because that is literally my favorite part of it. You just hit, you hit it and it squeak. Oh my god. I mean, so of course I bought one. How could I not buy one with that feature? This light stick is probably every bit of the top 3 of my favorites, simply because it's just fun to play with. Like, even though I've never been to a Blackpink concert, it is literally the funnest light stick I have ever got to play with. It represents them well too, so I mean that's a plus, and it's pretty practical for what it is. So overall, this light stick is like really good and not really affordable. But you know, if you're in the market for just one to like fuck around with, I'd say Blackpink's is pretty good. I've seen a lot of people actually give this light stick specifically a lot of shit, but it's pretty unique for what it is, and I like that. I like the fact that it's a circle. It looks, oddly enough, easier to hold. Like, maybe I could put it on my wrist kind of thing. Plus, it looks super bright. So, me personally, I really like this stick. I mean, I think it's like a 10 out of 10 kind of stick, because it's not a stick, it's a circle, and that's, I don't feel like I've ever seen that before. Like, I've looked up light sticks before, of course, but I don't think I've ever seen the circle ones. Out of all the ones you see, you kind of see that one circle, which is kind of eye-catching, and I like that. I like that for Itzy. Their light stick has to be one of my favorites of all times. I'm not kidding. It's a fucking gun. That's probably the most American thing I think I've ever said, but fuck. Like, how cool is that? Your name's Cherry Bullet and your light stick is a gun? It can't get any better than that. Plus, I mean, it just looks so much fun to play with. I mean, it kind of looks like a water gun more than an actual gun, but like, I just feel like that would be so fun to play with. I mean, TSA is not gonna be happy if you bring that to the airport, but I mean, otherwise, keep it at home, do what you want, you know. That would be so cool. They absolutely blew everybody out of the water. It's a really cool light stick. 100%. It is super cool, and I'm gonna buy one. Well, that's just a few of the hundreds of light sticks that are out there. So, you know, if you have a favorite light stick, let me know down below. And if you don't, let me know why not. Anywho's, I will see you lovely people in the next video. Goodbye.